beautiful day. The sun's up. I was listening to Annie with my daughter this morning. You know, the sun will come up tomorrow. You know, whenever, you know, you have to continue to move forward. We don't get to go backwards. It's a lesson learned, I think, for all of us about where the country is regarding elections. But the best thing about it is we're in a good place as a nation. And I think we learned some lessons about what's acceptable and unacceptable for white American people. And the beautiful thing about a democracy is Americans get to make these decisions. And the decision they made, even though we may not like it, we have to accept it. And I think what we've learned is like how you accept, you know, the results of an election, and then how you learn from it and move on. And I think that's what we've done so far. And I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about Virginia because, you know, in spite of what some of the battlegrounds did in some of the other areas, Virginia rejected some of the extremism. Tim Kaine was reelected, thank God. Jennifer McClellan, Bobby Scott, the majority of our congressional delegation is still Democrat. We're still we're still trying to reach across the aisle, common sense. Want to make sure that we do things where we can, we agree on, and do things that we need to do to protect bodily autonomy, women's reproductive freedom. Those things have not changed. We're going to continue to focus on that, but where we can agree, especially when it comes to kitchen table issues, making sure that we take care of our economy. We're the #1 state for business, and that's because we have a bipartisan way of doing things. In fact, CNBC said that. They said that the reason we're #1 is because we're working in a bipartisan way. We're focused on protecting public education, promoting workforce development, and creating an opportunity economy. And I think that's what makes Virginia unique. And I'm really, really proud of Virginia for rejecting hurting Virginians, because we know that in some of our ways, in some of our areas of Virginia, we depend on DC. We have a lot of federal jobs in Northern Virginia, and in Northern Virginia, they rejected going backwards and losing jobs and losing that workforce, that expertise in Virginia. And I think in Virginia, people voted in their best interest. Had an opportunity, as you know, recently, probably a week and a half ago, to go out to Southwest Virginia. And I got to see not only some of the devastation that happened with Hurricane Helene and what we're doing to make that happen and fix it. And we're doing it in partnership. President Biden, Glenn Youngkin working together, working on getting that together. But I also got to meet some Virginians out there who probably are not Democrats, but they were decent human beings. They love their families. They love this country. They love the Commonwealth. And so I think some of the language that we've used around some of the extreme, we need to come back to the middle. And I think that election was about how do you come back and continue to govern in the middle. And I think that's the lesson that we learned. I think we learned it in November 23 when the government